Hi guys, and welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in our last video we created this sort of hero slider up here. This sort of fading image thing with a button, call to action button, and a title up there. Today let's create a product sale section. So I've got a product here, one of our gaming desktops, and it's got a title, a bit of text, a star rating, and a pulsating button to get people's interest. Really easy to do with Elementor, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable Elementor. Hit the Edit with Elementor button at the top. And let's just get rid of this section that I've created up here. Just to get rid of a section, just hit the little X right there. There we go. And here's where we left off last time. Okay, first thing I want to do is add an image. And it's going to be that product image. There it is right there. And I actually want more than one column, so I'm going to go up into the column right here, right click and say add new column, and that'll split it into two. And I still want one side slightly smaller, the image. We can readjust this later on, and you can just left click and drag in the middle there to resize it if you need to. So let's add our image. Just click on this, choose the image that I want. I think it was that one right there that I used. There it is. Okay, let's start building the actual add text over here. Click on the little matrix and we'll give it a heading. Simply select your text and put in what you want. Okay, we got that in there. Now let's decorate it the way we want. I'm going to have it in the middle, so I'm going to put the alignment to the middle there. I'm going to go to the style, text color. I'm going to make that red the same as this sort of red color up here, which is this bright red up here. Now for the typography, I want to make it uppercase so it stands out. So that's transform, uppercase. You can make it bigger or smaller by simply dragging this up or down. Just have it the size that you want it. Want it a fair size. You can change the weight here. I think it's bold already. Yeah, it is. It's a title. So we're good to go with that. Let's move on to our next little bit. I want to add just a bit of text, something about the product. Obviously, I haven't got any info about it because it's not a real product. So I'm just going to drag my text editor module in, and you see the little blue line, just place it where you want it. That's fine right there. I'm just going to leave it as that dummy text because I really don't have anything to say about this desktop. Obviously you'd say something like fantastic desktop sale, really fast, great for gaming, or something like that, but that's fine. I'll just leave it like that. Let's go to our style. I want to put it in the middle again, and I'm going to leave it just like that. Next thing I thought would be good for something like this was to add a little star rating. So let's go back to our matrix, slide on down past the pro ones because we're using the free version for this one. Here's a star rating, and again just left click, drag it where you want it. Where you see the blue line is where you want it to be. Just release your left mouse button and there's your little star rating. Now you can have it as solid or just an outline. I prefer actually the solid personally, and you can use Font Awesome or Unicode. Font Awesome's a huge font set, so I'm going to leave it on that. That's great. I'm not going to give it a title. I am going to put it in the middle. You can give it a rating of 0 to 10 if you want, but 5 is good for me today. And then you can decide what you want. If it's only a 4.9, or you see the part of the star disappears there, just like regular ratings that you see everywhere else. But let's keep this on 5, seeing as we're trying to sell it. So let's go over to our style now. I want to make these a lot bigger, so I'm going to grab the size slider and slide it up, something like that. And let's space them out so it fills a bit more space there. Might even take that up slightly more. And the color, I'm going to use exactly the same. Now there's an option for the unmarked color. If we take that rating back down, and I'll just show you, let's take this down to 4, I guess, and you can see that one's grayed out. You could change that last color if you wanted to in the style, make it whatever color you want. But like I say, I'm trying to sell this, so this is having a 5-star rating. Okay, and last but least, I want to add a big button that gets people's attention, that takes you to the product itself. So let's go back to our matrix, and at the top here we've got buttons again. Same thing, left click, drag it to where you want it, drop it there, and there it's put it in for you. And you've got different types: info, success, warning. Those are actually bootstrap classes, and success will be green, danger will be red, etc. But let's go ahead and change the text to get the bargain, or get the deal now, whatever you want to say with your button. I want to put our button in the middle, and of course it's got to go somewhere, so it's got to have this link right here. So let's go to our products list, down to our product right here, the gaming desktop, and where it says view, you can right click on it, copy the link address. Let's go back and simply paste it in there. Get rid of that hashtag, obviously. Great, so that's going to take them where we want. But I want to make that button a lot larger, and I want to make it red to start off with and have a hover color probably. So alignment wise, you can do left, right, middle, or you can justify it, which will fill the area available. And I want to make it pretty big, so I'm going to make it extra large. Because my button up here has no corners on it, I want to continue that style. So we'll do that in a moment with the style. So we're good to go here. Let's go ahead and move on to our style section. And typography, let's go in there and make this uppercase as well, so it gets people's eyes on it. Size, we can make that a little bit bigger too, something like that. That's fine. Now the actual text color is fine as white. Let's make the background color red. Again, just drag it up to where you want it, or put in your hex code, however you want to do it. And when people hover on it, let's change it to blue. So there's the normal, here's the hover. Text color is fine as white. Background color we'll just change as blue. That's fine. Hover animation, that's the bit that, if you want, they've got some animations here. If I put it back on hover animations, that you can do all kind of different things. Shrink, pulse, pulse grow, pulse shrink, push, pop, bounce in. I mean, there's a huge amount to play with here. I'm going to put mine on pulse. And as you can see, when I hover over it, it sort of pulses like that. That works for me. And as I was saying, I want to have square corners. They're slightly rounded at the moment. So border radius, I'm going to just make sure I've got a 0 in all the boxes there. There we go. And it'll be nice and square. We can add a bit of box shadow to make it stand out a bit more against the page. And let's just move this so we can see it. You see it to the right there when I move it to the right. I actually want this at 0 position, or 1's close enough. And I want it down a bit. There we go. But I don't want it the whole width of the thing. So spread wise, we can pull it in a little bit so it's like that. That's going to work fine for me. If you want more blur, then you can take this up so it sort of fades out more. But I quite like that. And the last thing I want to do to this really is, it's a little close to those stars. So let's go over to advanced and give it a margin, or you can do this with padding. Well, actually, I don't think you can do it with padding. If we put padding on the top with a button, quite often that just adds padding above the text. So let's try it. No, that did actually work fine. So you can do it with the padding if you want to, but I don't want it everywhere. I just want it on the top. So let's say give it, we'll try 30. Yeah, that's about right. That's fine. Okay, and I want to bring the whole thing, or this gaming, down slightly so it's a bit more in line with that. So let's go back in here. And again, we'll go to the advanced. Let's give it some margin of about 20. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. So we've got a link going to our product here. Let's make the image actually link to the product also. So if we go into the image, here's the link here. You can select custom URL and just paste in the link we used for our button there, which is still in my clipboard. There we go. Great. And like I say, if you want to resize, you can drag this still. Make these columns bigger and smaller. When you get smaller, that image is going to get smaller. So I think we're good about there. Now, just to finish this off, I thought we'd put something in the background. So let's go to our section and we'll go to Style. Let's go down to Shape Dividers and put some dividers in the background, which are just shapes you can put in the background just for interest. So on the top, I'm going to use the first one right here, which is mountains. Color wise, I'm going to make it blue, and you'll see it when I put the color in. There you go. But I really don't want it quite standing out as much as that. I mean, that's quite nice, but I'm going to take the opacity, this bottom slider, down a bit so it's more see-through, and it'll fade paler as I do that into the white background, something like that. So it's there, but not quite as bold. And for the bottom, I'm going to put the same thing on the bottom. I'll use the mountains, but I'll make them red on the bottom. So let's give it a color. Give it a red color I've been using. And again, I'm going to take the opacity down so it's sort of there, but not quite as intrusive. But that's entirely up to you. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Let's update. And once updated, let's hit the little eyeball and preview our changes. So there's our little slider, and here we have our little gaming desktop sale. And that button is certainly going to get people's attention. So let's click on it and make sure it goes where we want it to go. And there we are. Fantastic. Great. Let's go back and we're done. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it interesting. If you have, please ring the bell, give it a thumbs up, share, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.